Hello, everybody. Welcome one, welcome all, and welcome back to a somber edition of the Believe in Iowa State podcast. I'm your host Tyler Carter.
And I'm your host, Cody Vancilum.
Cody, unfortunately, this is what Iowa State football has been, bro. Like that's the feelings of Iowa State football the last few weeks. The fans have been through a lot. Obviously, um, if you haven't been paying attention and you haven't been on social media, Rocco Becht is gone and he has put his name um, into transfer portal. Cody, I gotta have your thoughts, man.
Have you ever seen the Simpsons clip of old man gets hit by football in the nuts? Have you ever seen that episode or that clip?
No.
So that's what this feels like. This it feels like it's a constant kick to the nuts. Has been these last few weeks, and it's like the perennial cycle of being an Iowa State fan. One way or another, you're going to get kicked in the nuts.
Yeah, either way, yeah, no matter what fate is, no matter what you try to, no matter how much you try to avoid it, you get kicked in the nuts. It's sort of like Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
It says all your what was I forgot what he said. All your like whatever.
All your failures and you come back to me or something like that. But here's another quote I think like is a way to describe it. Dread it, run from it, hide from it. Destiny or rise all the same. That's exactly what this is. Like
Yes, that's the elite uses. Yeah,
yeah, and I think this was like kind of a this wasn't. Here's the thing. This is another Marvel's reference. This was inevitable. This was going to hit Iowa State in one way, shape, or form with the way college football is like the state is in right now. But the fact it's hit like this, it just hurts. It hurts even more because it's one thing for you to be like an Alabama losing Nick Saban or or Michigan. Well, I don't know if Michigan's a good example, but say like Ohio State went from Urban Meyer to Ryan Day. That's one thing. You lose a great coach and you just reload with another one. But you're in a position like Iowa State. You can't rebound that quickly from losing a great coach as they can.
yeah, man. I mean, this sucks, especially just after a year after coming off of a title game appearance and winning the most games in school history. Having a really good 2 year run, 20-5 as nothing, or 20-8 the last 2 years. Um, no, actually, 20-7 or 19-7 the last 2 years. Um, is nothing to frown about, but it's just like now it's just like man, that everything. And the thing is, we really didn't get a chance to process any of this because all of it happened so fast, and it's just like man, like and the worst part is in this era of college football, the losers are truly are the fans because now it just seems like you got to be sort of like nonchalant and not really have any passion towards a fan base because it's hard. It's hard, man. Like I feel for the people that like grew up fans of this team, even newer fans like me. Like it sucks that you put your all into this team, and then like in the end, it doesn't really matter because money is what runs the sport now, and I hate it.
Yeah. I mean, and I mean, everybody like in one way, shape, or form, they have a right to react
Oh,
how they are.
facts, facts.
Like, there's a lot of ways. Like, there's so many people have so many different ways of handling something like this. But so nobody's right or wrong in how they like can react, at least to an extent. But everyone's going through the grieving stages right now, and I'm kind of feeling right now. Like, I'm frustrated. I'm disappointed. I'm like angry. I'm all over the place. I didn't even know how to handle this when I woke up this morning. I saw the news. I was like, okay, I'm gonna lay in bed for at least a couple more hours just to really process this. And that's basically
Mm-hmm.
what I did. Or also right now taking my mind off by watching other things like college basketball. And I mean, there are some great games going on right now.
Yeah. So definitely go and watch college basketball. There are really good matchups today, especially if you don't want to do that. And basically, what college football is turning into, the NFL. We have two NFL games today. We have Eagles, Commanders, and then Packers, Bears, which
Mm,
both have actually consequences. And honestly, you should probably watch NFL. There are a lot of Iowa State players in the league that are going to be in some playoff runs. Brock Purdy and the 49ers. You also have Jalen Nolan, Jaden Higgins with the Houston Texans that are they're also going to be in the playoffs as well. So we have plenty of football to watch. Obviously, it's going to be a turbulent few days. Honestly, bro, I just look at it as and here's another well known fact is that many Cyclones are going to leave for the portal. So honestly, I'm sort of at the mentality of I want people who truly want to be here. Like that's really where it is. If you
mhm.
want to be here, that's great. If you don't, then bye. Like I don't want that type of player here. It's just like, and I know people will commit to the coach and not the school, but like the
Right.
people that do want to be here, I do want them here, and everybody else wants them here too. So
Mhm. Yeah. And I mean, now, like early on, like we're talking like players, speaking of players who might leave and stay, who would you like? I'm thinking most likely, who would you want to like stay? Because we know a lot of offensive players are going to leave, probably with Rocco, because he was like the guy in the locker room, and I think a lot.
man,
Th-
I am hoping to the Lord that we can keep either Mansky or Moberly and have that type of peace. Because like if we can get one of those quarterbacks to stay, and if we can get one of the running backs to stay, I do think that we can start off with that, and then maybe some O linemen. But like I don't I can't even tell you right now. I think this is probably gonna be at least 25 to 30 players that leave at least. So we'll have
Mhm.
to see. But I know those are the players that I would want.
Yeah, I think. I mean, early on, a lot of people are thinking they're ready for Alex Mansky. They're ready to see him take the reins. And then I think the thing is, Mansky and Mobley are both only freshmen, so they probably don't have as deeper of a connection with Campbell as Rockwood does. So I wouldn't be surprised if at least one of those two stay, and it would definitely be preferred. And I think Mansky would probably be like he's like the early favorite. I'm seeing a lot of people early on say Alex Mansky for the starting position.
Yeah, and you just keep hearing things saying that he might leave. I'm like, well, it wouldn't make sense because Rogers also recruited him. So I guess it's a waiting game to see, and I'm pretty sure we'll probably know the finality of the coaching staff either tomorrow or sometime next week or the week after. Probably the week after because it's about to be the holidays, and we'll know more on January 2nd. I'm really just ready to get this portal up and going and seeing what this roster looks like for next year, honestly, and
Hmm.
leave all this behind because it's just been a painful December. When
Yep.
I was thinking that we could build on this, and then all this happened so in just a whirlwind. This is not the college football I know, and just like we said, it's a waiting game. It's waiting to see what truly happens. I know a lot of people in their current state, and I don't blame you right now, are doom and gloom. But also at the same time, I truly do, even if I might be one of the only fans that think this, I truly do believe that Jimmy Rogers has a good foundation to stand on, and he's put together a really really good staff. Um, and I believe Tyler Rowe will have um, will find the type of players to fit his the type of personnel to fit his type of offense that he wants to run. So I actually have full confidence in Jimmy Rogers that he can get this ship righted. What do you think?
Hmm. Yeah, I think so too. I'm like I'm aboard the Jimmy Rogers trade. I mean, after obviously what he said out in his press conference and then his speech at Cyhawk, I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go. Like I'm ready to see what they can do. I mean, obviously, all the news for the for the players leaving, that's gonna hurt. But I'm looking forward to the future, and I'm living in the present moment right now. And I'm obviously my priorities are with the basketball team because they're the ones going right now. That's who I'm looking for, and I would think that they could be, if anything, at least someone to take away from all like the football news.
Yeah, I mean, basketball has a chance to be a healing, a redeeming, a redeeming part for this Iowa State fan base, especially going into um, uh,
Conference play, yeah, because
conference play.
yeah, the women's basketball team will start conference play tomorrow when they host Kansas. Then the men will start. They have a couple more bye games before they host West Virginia to start the new year.
Honestly, since we got time, let's take a look at the conference schedule for both. I
Yeah,
mean, we
sure.
might as well
Hmm.
get our minds off of this.
Yeah. Well, first, yeah, I want to first go through the men's team. So, I mean, before that, there are a couple more bye games. They will play against Long Beach State and Houston Christian before they start the Big 12 schedule against aforementioned West Virginia.
Hmm.
So, looking at this, like with the way Iowa State's looking right now on the men's side of things, I don't see a loss until I can only see one loss until we host Kansas on Valentine's Day weekend.
Do you? I mean, I guess. Do you believe that Baylor? Do you think that the Baylor atmosphere could be trouble for this team? Because the more that I look at this team, like I feel like the Eastern Illinois game was an outlier, and that was just like them like coming off of a week where they already had to play Iowa, which was an emotionally grilling game.
Mhm.
I truly do think that they can beat Baylor with ease. I mean, the only game I think they go unscathed until they play at KU. KU is a toss up because it's always tough to play at the Fog. So that I say I consider it a win if we go through the first five, 4-1.
Yeah, I think if there's a year to prove that you truly belong in the top of the Big 12, you have to beat Kansas at the Fog,
Facts,
especially
man.
and especially with the health of Darren Peterson, like because he's been on and off the court with his like because he got another lingering injury, I believe. Was it
Yeah.
now hamstring or something? So
Yep.
the status of Darren Peterson I think, plays a factor into what Kansas can be. But granted, you did see Melvin Council Jr. make what was it 9 or 10 threes against NC State, but you don't know if you're going to get that on a consistent basis. So you can't trust that until he shows it. So I mean, for this Kansas team, it's a waiting game to see if Darren Peterson will even be healthy. Because I'm guessing they're probably going to keep him off the court until conference play. That would be my assumption. But if you
Yeah.
want to prove, yeah, if you want to truly prove that you do belong in that top five tier. You got to go and beat Kansas at Kansas.
Yeah, definitely. Is this a put up or shut up time? If you think that this team is Final Four caliber, these are the types of games that you got to win, man.
Mhm. And then another one that I see, and this is giving Iowa State some problems at Oklahoma State. This Oklahoma State squad is much better than the one last year, and the last year squad actually beat us, and that was in the like kind of when we were kind of
Hmm.
faltering. So, I mean, you also got to exercise some demons there in that regard.
Yes. You got to go and win at Gallagher, but that yeah, you got to get revenge for last year. Colorado, like I really, and then another one at February 1st against K State. Playing at Bramlage, that game can also be a tricky one because you already know K State's going to have everything within them to want to be Iowa State.
Yeah, but I think that one is a winnable game. But I mean, all eyes conference play wise. I mean, this front half of the conference schedule is very favorable for Iowa State, but it does get loaded on this back half, starting with hosting Kansas on Valentine's Day weekend.
Yeah, I mean, this is like I said that these last one, two, three, four, five, these last six games are gonna I think for me are what's gonna define the season. If we think
Mhm.
that this team is serious, this team should be able to win at least 5 or all of these games.
Yeah,
If we think
and
they're like good enough, they'll be win 4. If they're disappointing, they'll only win half of these.
yeah, and also health has to play a part of it. The depth, because that's
Yes.
been the one thing that's been the kind of the Achilles heel for these TJ Otzelberger teams is how worn down the team is in like late January and mid February. They're always worn
Yeah.
down at this point in time, so we got to see if they can get through that. So, but I mean, overall, this could potentially shape up to be a pretty exciting year for the men's side of things. And I mean that game in Tucson on March 2nd, that could potentially have title implications for the Big 12.
Title implications, maybe number one overall seed implications. Like honestly, that game is going to be for all the marbles, I think, and I can't wait.
Yeah. So definitely something to be excited for. But at the same time, we talked about the number one seed. I think we also have to talk about the women's side of things because
Hmm.
the Iowa State women have gone off to I'd say, a pretty good start. They're undefeated, and we saw in the last game they can win in multiple ways, even without the presence of Audie Crooks, because she was obviously out due to an injury. But we did hear earlier this week that Audie Crooks is expected to be back playing for the conference opener against Kansas. So
Oh, good.
yeah, so I mean, yeah, they've been off this whole week, but I mean, right now this is really I think this is favorable. Like Iowa State, them and TCU are probably the two teams that are going to most likely win the conference. It's a race between those two. But I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if we can get, do we play TCU twice this year?
we only play them once, and it's at TCU, and that's not until the 22nd of February.
So you definitely know more than I do about women's
Hmm.
basketball.
Yeah,
Where do you think that like we could see some possible slip ups for this team?
I I would have to say Oklahoma State. The Oklahoma State women's squad is a really they're in the upper half of the conference, so I can see that being an issue. I would have to look at well as at Arizona State, but we do host them
Hmm.
at home, so that's a good thing. I mean, they've got the coach Molly Miller, who came over from Grand Canyon, and she was doing major things at Grand Canyon, and she's got Arizona State, the women's team, on probably like their best start in a while for them. So really, I think this is like Iowa State's league to lose
Mm.
outside of Baylor, but we do host them on the fourth, so that'll be a huge game early on in conference play, and then TCU, and then Oklahoma State. We get the home and home with them, and then yeah, I would have to say probably that. Like outside of TCU, I really do not see anybody threatening the way that Iowa State is playing basketball right now with the way
Yeah.
they're hit. And if if Iowa State can be consistent, they can stay healthy because this is a much better team than last year. Last year dealt with a lot of inconsistencies and some untimely injuries, but I think the women's team it's just a race for like the one seed, and I think the league is firmly in their hands or TCU. So it just comes down to can Iowa State stay healthy enough and have the bench perform at a consistent enough level to maintain winning.
Yeah, we just got. I mean, honestly, we need something. We just gotta pray for both these basketball teams that they have good health these last few years. We like because the Cyclone Nation has been through a lot these past few weeks, man. And this fan base needs to pick me up, man. Like we 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 we've had good luck against in football against Iowa State and K State 5-1 the last well was it 3-1 against K State 3-1 against Iowa. So like I mean 6-2 against both of them in football the last 4 years is great.
Mhm.
But like man, if basketball can finally get to the potential that we believe that we can get both these teams to, and like we go and get the number one seed. Like I really do think that would be like a cool experience. Even if like the men's team gets to like makes an Elite Eight run. and
Yeah.
gets to heights that a team since the 2001 team has made it to. Like
Yeah.
we honestly just need something.
Yeah. And it'd be nice too if the women's team got to host the first two
Yes.
rounds. That would be really nice. And I don't know, and I think it is just the first two rounds that like the top four seeds host or something like that. I would have to, because I don't know if it's like, yeah, I don't know if it's like volleyball where like the top overall seed host all the way to the until like the elite eight into the final
Mm-hmm.
four.
Yeah.
But getting to host the first two rounds would be really nice for Iowa State fans because time and time again, Iowa State has shown to be one of the most consistently attended teams in women's basketball. So it would just be great to reward that with the performance on the court and then just getting a couple home games in the postseason.
Yeah. And then this is just my message to Cyclone Nation, guys. It's going to be okay, and y'all have the right to feel every right you do. Feel if you feel anger, if you feel hurt, you feel sad.
Yeah.
Y'all have every right to feel the way that you want to feel, but it may be just preaching to the choir, but like things are gonna get better. I don't think we're gonna go back to ground zero for football. I know y'all may
Mhm.
be rolling your eyes right now and say, "Yeah, yo, whatever, Tyler." I may just be a podcaster, but I do know that this football team is better than what it was when we had no hope in 2015, where we probably would have been just a dumpster fire program
Mhm.
before Campbell came in. I do think we'll
Mhm.
be on higher ground. So that's all I had to say about that.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of dumpster fires, boy oh boy, Ann Arbor is kind of a dumpster fire right now, low key.
Whoo!
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm gonna go on a quick tangent because like all like the stuff that's going on there, you have the firing of Sharon Moore, then you have the court like all like the cases, the allegations come out, and then now Michigan, I think their athletic department is doing like an internal investigation,
Oh yeah.
and then I just saw what was it earlier today as well, Kenny Dillingham, who some Michigan fans were targeting as the next head coach for the Wolverines. Kenny Dillingham signs an extension with Arizona State, so they're not even gonna get him, and I know Michigan fans wanted Kenny Dillingham.
Oh yeah. They're in shambles right now. So um, we are in an interesting time in college football. It is. I'll just say it's going to be a very interesting January 2nd portal. Just to see, there's so many other names in there. I'm excited to see how that turns out. I am definitely going to be glued to my phone and on three, as there's going to be so many different transactions.
Yeah.
Lots of teams are going to be a lot different next year.
Yep.
So
Get yeah, message boards like disc, like everything. Everything's gonna be blowing up around New Year's.
for sure. So you guys stay tuned on that, and we will be here for you guys. Thank you, you guys, for joining us on this emergency podcast of the Believe in Iowa State podcast. We appreciate your guys' support. To find us and chat it up with us, you can find Cody on Twitter at Tierney's Burner. You can find me, Tyler, at SciTi Guy. A big thank you to FanDuel. If you want to go no ball, go make money and put your parlays in for today's games. Uh, Also, a big shout out to FeedSpot, a top 10 sports podcast in the state of Iowa, a top 35 most listened to podcasts in the state of Iowa. Thank you, FeedSpot. Thank you, state of Iowa listeners, and thank you, everyone who has supported us along the way. Also, follow us on social media: Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and also Twitch. Thank you, Twitch. We are growing on Twitch by the day. Thank you, Twitch viewers, for tuning in. Um, and that is all for today's show. For Tyler Carter,
Yeah, for Cody Ranciolo.
this is a Believe in Iowa State podcast. Roll clones, baby.
Cyclone State.